3-point shot. Chapter 31. It seemed the moments after the executions would never get any easier. The third occurrence of a friend being murdered in such a horrifically brutal way was just as bad as the last two, if not worse. And all the same, it was not the only thing that was focused on. "Wanna, kid? What? That wasn't supposed to..." Monosuke stammered out. "His death makes me sad. We were just starting to get along," Monodam lamented. "Bad luck," Monosuke muttered. "Just bad luck was all that was." "Did you put him up to that?" "What?" "He was going to kill me. Did you put him up to that?" the green bear repeated. No, Monosuke denied. "I would never do something like that." "We are all we have left. We must get along. I do not want us to not get along," Monodam declared, the threat clear. "Me neither," Monosuke agreed. "I won't try anything stupid, I promise. I'm the smart one, remember?" "For your sake, I hope so," Monodam replied.
So long, farewell.
The two shouted as they departed for whereabouts unknown. Monokuma shook his head.
Only 2 kids left? Tragic. But it'll save me a bundle on tuition.
His joke received no response from the students.
Oh, come on! Where's your sense of humor? Akamatsu-san, aren't you at least gonna talk about how horrible I am?
The headmaster asked.
Why bother? You don't care. I don't see why I should waste the energy. I'd rather focus on my actual friends right now.
The pianist shot back.
You wound me, my dear.
The two-tone Teddy said, clutching his chest.
In here I thought you and I were real pals. Guess we have a more professional relationship. C'est la vie.
And with that, he too disappeared.
Okay, can we please get back to my thing?
Miyu shouted.
Ever heard of a mourning period?
Ryoma inquired.
Ever hear of someone fucking assaulted me and we still have no clue who or why?
The inventor countered. I agree with Iruma-san, Kibo noted. Though I am not happy with Anji-san's death, the fact that such a situation has gone unchecked greatly worries me. Sure you're not just worried about yourself, Kokichi chimed in. Figures you'd put yourself over everyone else, being a robot and all. Your robo-racism is getting old, Kibo protested. And I worry far more for Iruma-san than myself. I do not want any more harm coming to my friends, and I wish to know who would try something like that. If you're so upset with it, why don't we ask the real brains of this group? Kokichi said with a smirk. Saihara-chan, any thoughts? The detective didn't respond. He had gone quiet ever since Angie's words about how she knew something terrible about him. Shuichi, you okay? Kaito asked his friend. You still shook up about all of this? Shuichi nodded. I need to be alone for a while.
Saihara-kun.
Kaede whispered. Whatever you need, buddy, Kaito reassured. The astronaut turned to the other students and proclaimed, Let's move out, people! The purple-haired boy's words begrudgingly won over his classmates as they made their way to the elevator. Though they traditionally rode in a set formation, Shuichi decided to break from the pack this time, taking a corner to himself. He was silent the whole way up. There wasn't much for the students to do with the rest of their day. The trial had left them exhausted, and the sun was quickly beginning to set. Or at least the facsimile thereof that had been provided to them. As such, most of the group had gone to their dorm rooms to sleep off the stress. The fitness club had gathered outside the bank of doors, though they were short one member. "Shuichi's not coming with us, is he?" Kaito commented.
He had a long day.
Kaede reminded him.
I think he's earned the night off.
Maki grew shifty-eyed as the others spoke. "Something up, Maki Roll?" Kaito asked. The red-eyed girl gave a quick look around the room, attempting to make sure no one was listening in. Upon learning that there was no danger, she turned to address her two allies.
There's something you two should probably know.
What is it?
The pianist inquired.
When I revealed my secret,
Maki began, her explanation broken up by a short breath.
the one Monokuma told me afterward. It was Saihara's.
"So wait, you know what Angie was talking about?" Kaito exclaimed.
Not so loud,
Maki shushed.
but I don't think so. His secret shouldn't affect our ability to trust him. Or at least it didn't with me.
Kaede gulped.
What is it?
The faux caretaker sighed.
I don't feel good about telling you this without his permission, but you two deserve to know.
She took another breath before finally revealing the truth.
Suichi Saihara suffers from clinical depression.
The two went silent upon hearing those words. They couldn't exactly deny it, especially not after the detective's anxiety attack, but it was still devastating to hear. "Shuichi! Shit! He's been dealing with that on his own?" Kaito muttered.
I highly doubt Monokuma's given him access to any type of medication, so it seems that way.
Maki pointed out.
But he seemed so confident in the past.
Kaede argued, trying her best to cling to some shred of proof otherwise.
I'm no psychologist,
Maki explained.
but I think he uses his detective work as a coping mechanism. Solving a case gives him a problem he can actually face head-on and beat.
But he always says he's not a great detective or anything, Kaito recalled.
Devaluing his accomplishments.
Kaede muttered.
Keeping emotional distance from others. Damn it, Saihara-kun! Why didn't you tell us?
Kaito grit his teeth in frustration. Can't we do something to help?
I think the best thing you can do for him is make sure he remembers he has people who care about him.
Maki suggested.
Don't treat him any differently because of his condition, or it'll just make him more self-conscious. And definitely don't treat him differently for being bi.
We're all on a spectrum.
Kaede commented, nodding in agreement. Shuichi's still Shuichi, whatever he goes through. And I told him if he ever needs help, he's got me. Kaito cheered.
He's got us.
Kaede corrected.
All three of us.
I'm sorry?
Maki questioned. The blonde smirked.
Come on, Harukawa-san. We're your friends. Whether you want to admit it or not.
Plus, you just proved how much you care about Shuichi, Kaito added. Otherwise, you wouldn't have told us about any of this.
Do you want me to kill you?
Maki questioned, her eyes narrowed. Kaede's eyes, however, went wide.
What?
Kaito laughed it off. It's just something Maki Roll does, no big. Kaede let out a nervous laugh in response.
Right. Still, you can be scary sometimes, Harukawa-san.
The assassin averted her gaze.
So I've been told.
Hey, ladies, play nice! Kaito cut in, attempting to play peacekeeper. If you've got some energy to get out, you can do it while we're training. Shuichi gets the night off, but that just means we gotta put in double the work to make up for it.
Is that how it works?
Kaede groaned. Kaito gave no response and made his way to the garden. Kaede begrudgingly followed with a steady shuffle.